Obviously, Texas shot the ball extremely well today. So I want to obviously give credit to them for executing their game plan. They hadn't shot it particularly well throughout the year, but they obviously shot it better in their last game and carried over to today. Kind of showed you how, one game can kind of change your mindset. They were 0-2 a week ago as well. Got off the snide on Saturday and then kind of carried that over to today. A lot of their threes did come from breakdowns and communication from us. We got some correctable errors there, so that's encouraging. A lot of it, some of it was guys not playing together a lot here and being out there for the first time and having to focus through some adversity. So I'm encouraged that our kids are in a positive frame of mind, believing that they can get this thing turned around, because I do. And I know if they show up with a good attitude, it's just a matter of continuing to fight, continue to plug away, continue to believe that you can do the job. And got a group of kids in the locker room that have a high care factor, and I can't wait to get back to practice with them tomorrow to try to get ready for the next one.
Robert, talked to Coach Henson earlier today. He said you guys had a really good week of practice, just didn't come up together for you guys tonight. How close do you feel you guys are?
I mean, last week we barely got over 40, and we played really, really good defense. And then we talked to our guys about not worrying about missing shots. And if we score 64 in either one of our games last week, we win by 10, somewhere in there. And today we score 64 and lose by 12. So I don't want to give a bunch of coach pick. I do believe that we're getting better. It's hard to really see positives when you're losing, though, if we're being honest. As a coach, though, my job is to keep these kids encouraged, because there's a lot of fight in there. I like what I see in terms of the progress of a lot of our young guys. They're all showing signs that they're certainly going to be capable of helping us for a long time. So we'll just keep working. I'm going to show up tomorrow with a positive attitude and try to help our guys get better and get prepared for the game on Saturday morning.
Last week you talked about how you felt your guys were lacking confidence shooting the ball. What did you think about how they shot today? Just the confidence level of taking the shots that they took today.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't sense the hesitation today. We obviously didn't shoot as many threes as we had in either one of the previous games, but I thought the shots were taken with good rhythm. I thought they shot them like they expected them to go in, and the result was better. We didn't shoot our best, and we didn't have it across the board. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys make threes, one of which I think only shot 4 threes on the year, and Kai Jones. So it was one of those nights. But from a mentality standpoint, I feel like they played more confidently on the offensive end, and now we got to go back and figure out where the breakdowns were defensively to try to be ready for the next time we face them.
Caleb and Thomas have talked about how Caleb's been doing pretty good in practice. He made weight. He's been working with assistant coaches. What have you seen from him during the weekend practices?
With freshmen, the hardest thing is for them to understand how to bring it every day. And when they're good enough, which he is good enough talent-wise, they figure that part out. You see what you saw from him tonight, what you've seen from Avery Anderson over the last few weeks, is their confidence starts to grow as well. And basically, it's the typical kind of a pattern for these guys. I like his aggressiveness around the rim. I like his attitude. He knows these guys are much stronger than he is right now, but he plays fearlessly. And I'm proud of his progress. I'm proud of the work that our coaching staff has done to get him more consistent in practice and prepare for these type of opportunities. And I look forward to seeing him get better for our program.
Caleb said he's at 207. What is his goal weight that he's trying to get to? Does he have a number, I guess, longer term than this?
We can't get to the number we need him at right now, right? So there is no number right now. We just want him to keep eating. Ultimately, maybe next year we're hoping 220, 225, maybe somewhere in there, so that those shots he's getting around the basket where he's getting fouled and having to go to the free throw line, that he's now going to the free throw line for one shot because he's still able to finish the play. But right now, I don't want him to worry about that. I want him to just go out there and play basketball with the great energy that he does right now. Make sure he's eating as much as possible and to play the game with confidence because he's going to be a really good player for a long time for us.
You mentioned how important it is to be positive as a coach. Thomas came in here. Obviously, you guys hadn't worked out well with the wins here lately, but still positive. This senior group's been through hell and back. What is it? How does that help you? I guess all the crap they have been through, to say, hey, these guys are still positive. They've been through it, and they can help these young guys because you have a mix of older guys, but a great mix of young guys too, and that can help them through that.
Yeah, I mean, I want success for these seniors more than anything in the world. I've been with them here for their whole careers. I've seen everything firsthand that they've experienced, and they're great kids. And so you want to see good things happen for them. And I hate that they're going through something like this. But the truth is, adversity helps us at some point, right? We don't know how it's going to come out on the other side, but we will. Our day will come where we'll eventually knock that tree down, and it's not going to be able to go back up. And we'll be able to move forward and look back and say, man, that helped us. Right now it's hard because you're in the middle of it. And so my job is to not fall into the pattern that they get everywhere else. Everywhere they turn now, they're the worst players in the history of our program. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. We're not having success the way anybody wants to right now, including those kids. But they're giving us everything they have every day. And that's all I can ask of them as their leader. I want them to know they're good players, that they're going to help us have success. And they're going to be a big part of the reason that this program ultimately gets back to where it's a national contender consistently because of their commitment over the time that they've been here.
You mentioned on Monday you wanted to play a little bit faster on offense. Did you feel happier with the pace today?
Yeah, I thought we tried to really get out and run. I thought we pitched the ball ahead and tried to get to the basket a lot. Disappointed. We got really good free throw shooters. We stepped up and missed a bunch of free throws again today, which was, it's just uncharacteristic of what this team is capable of. But it's kind of one of those deals when it's going bad, right? You get all of it. And that's something that we've struggled with here lately also. And can't dwell on it. Here's what I do know. On Saturday, the team I think is the number one team in the country is coming into our place. So if we walk around for the next 48 hours feeling sorry for ourselves, it won't be good. If we can figure out a way to understand what happened tonight, get better, come back to practice tomorrow with a good attitude, have another good day of practice on Friday, we'll give ourselves a chance to compete against, a team that'll be a number one seed in the NCAA tournament. And again, it just takes one, to get the ball rolling, and that's my job as a head coach and our job as a staff to make that happen.
You limited Yor tonight. How are you trying to work through some of maybe what he's going through right now?
Just searching, still searching. Obviously we tried the other day, bringing him off the bench. Kind of a negligible difference, if any. Today just was out of position defensively quite a bit, and my job is to help him. My job is to help him. Like I said, he's one of those kids that's probably walking around not hearing a whole lot of positive information right now. He's the same kid who left New York City with an MVP trophy. So I've got to get him to remember who that guy is and that guy is him and that he's still capable of doing those things. And so we'll get to work tomorrow to figure it out.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, okay, thanks. After Jonathan started against TCU, then kind of what went into the decision to not play him tonight?
I mean, it wasn't necessarily a decision about not playing him as much as, I thought Caleb and Hedy had both been really good in practice. And just an opportunity for those guys to get out there and, play as hard as they can. I thought they produced. Obviously, specifically, Caleb played a lot for us. Hedy didn't play as much, but, those guys are getting better. And, right now, no one in that group has really separated themselves. So we're still trying to figure out who's going to bring it consistently. Caleb's been it here recently, and I look forward to giving him more opportunities as he gets better.
And what have you seen, before you talked about the inconsistencies of Caleb in practice, and he said he had a really good practice this week. What have you seen in him, as far as that consistency piece that you were talking about?
He's listening. I mean, they don't know. They don't know what working hard is really like. And they certainly don't know that if you work hard yesterday, when you show up tomorrow, it doesn't really mean anything what you did yesterday. It only gives you an opportunity to come do it again, and it shows your teammates what you're capable of. It shows your staff what your potential is. But freshmen learn almost always the hard way that if you don't practice well, it's very hard to produce. It's very hard to be ready to play. It's very hard to be in the right frame of mind to compete against the type of teams that we're playing against. I mean, Jericho Sims is probably the biggest guy he's ever been on the basketball court with, other than the two dudes from West Virginia last week. So, figuring out that every night you got to bring it, so every day in practice you got to bring it. And I think just buying into that, I think early on he thought, I hear you, Coach, but I'm going to show you that I can do it a different way, which is pretty typical. Avery went through it earlier the year. Keelan went through it a little bit. It's very normal for a freshman. Now he's starting to understand that if he has good practices, it will carry over into games more consistently.
You mentioned Keelan. He didn't play the last 2 games, I don't think. Just what have you seen from him as a leader?
Same thing. I mean, we got 5 of them that are all learning what college basketball is like, particularly the highest level of college basketball, right? I talk to those kids constantly. They've always had really good attitudes. They just have to learn how to work. They have to learn how to work consistently. They got to learn how to show up every day with good attitudes and try to get better. And again, tomorrow is no different. We're not going to walk in and feel sorry for ourselves. We're going to show up and we're going to try to have a really, really good practice. We'll go as hard as we need to. We'll get some shots up and try to prepare for Baylor.
How positive was it to see the freshmen play well in the first half when maybe the starters weren't playing well? In the first half there.
Yeah, I mean, that's typically the time, if your freshmen are good enough, this is about the time where you normally start to see them, we say, poke their heads up, and kind of show what they're capable of doing. Are they ready to do it every day consistently? Not yet, but you can see what they're capable of long term around middle of January. I mean, this is very, very normal. Caleb could show up on Saturday and have 4 fouls and no point. I mean, that's just what you deal with. And it's a really hard process because the expectation is, well, if he got 12 and 7 today, then he should have 18 and 12 on Saturday. Well, that's not really realistic. Is it possible? Yeah. But we got to let the cake bake a little bit on them and give them a chance to learn through some adversity. And that's my job, is to push them hard enough that they continue to get better, but also encourage them when they're doing well that, we do believe in what they're doing.
Thomas said that he'd hand out water bottles as long as they were winning. He played 16 minutes tonight. It's pretty low for him. Are things getting a little more competitive within the team with the younger guys maybe getting some more experience under the belt?
This team's always been pretty competitive, but for a long time the young guys didn't know anything. So I'll give you an example. So early on in practices, the older guys and the younger guys, you guys may have seen it, would play against each other, and I would listen to the huddles of both groups. And the young guys would say stuff like, let's kick their ass. And the older guys would talk about actual basketball stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And so it takes a while, man. How do we do that? Avery, Chris, but they were talking to each other, right? So no one was giving each other good information. They were just getting excited about, let's go kick their ass. All right, well, probably can't do that if you don't know how to guard the ball screen or if you don't know how to block out. And now they are learning those things, and now the conversations are different in practices. And there is some real strategy and understanding of, all right, how do we get this done, as opposed to we're just really talented, and so give me the ball, I'll go score, kind of mentality. It's part of the process, man. And right now it's an ugly, uncomfortable, not so fun part of the process. But I'm here for the long haul, man. I don't give up on kids. I don't believe in it. My job is to help them. That doesn't mean they get to continue to play as much all the time, but to help them in the best way we can.
You've got a lot of negative stuff, obviously, with the losses, and like you kind of alluded to it, there's outside noise. How important would it be for the fans to show up and be loud against what you consider the number 1 team in the country on Saturday? And that's a big game.
I thought our crowd was great tonight. It was far from obviously full. My job isn't to tell people how to spend their money. So I'm not gonna do that. I will say, hey, it certainly helps to have more people in the building than not. I think that's fair. I think our fans have done a tremendous job supporting these kids, supporting me and the staff. I hope they continue to. It's hard, I'm sure, when you don't expect that your team's going to have success consistently. But I will say, for us to get back to where we want this program to be, it takes everybody. It really does. And it takes people, staying kind of committed in some uncomfortable times. But I get it. People work hard for their money, and they get to decide how they want to spend it. And I don't make any judgments on that.